This video is to talk about Reading Unit 1, Lesson 7. Our learning target says, I can identify how the author makes the entire story click together. So guys, so far we've learned quite a few tools that will help us become better readers. One of the tools we learned is stop, think, and retell. If you remember, that's when, after we read a few pages or a couple chapters of our book, we are sure to stop, think about what we have read, and then we are able to retell the details of our story. We should be able to tell the setting or where the story took place. We should be able to retell the characters, and we should also be able to tell what happened in the beginning, middle, and end of the pages that we read. The other tool we have worked on is stop and jot. If you remember, stop and jot is when you take time to write a few notes or jot down a few notes you have as you read. You might write down your feelings, your connections to the text, or maybe your ideas as you're reading what is happening in the book. And then last week, we talked about notice, stop, and think, where we try to figure out what is the big feeling that the author wants us to feel. They do this by using descriptive words and extra details to make us feel what is happening in the text. So today, guys, we are going to learn another tool that will help us be super readers. Super readers stop and notice all the ways that the author makes the entire story click together. They stop and notice how all the parts go together. So today, we're going to look at how an author can connect the whole story together. How does the ending connect with the details in the beginning and the middle of the text? Let's practice with Katie Woo Has the Flu. But before I read chapter 3, let's stop, think, and retell what we have read so far in Katie Woo Has the Flu. Because remember, we've already read chapters 1 and 2 together. So let's use our tool of stop, think, and retell. So far in our book, first, Katie was feeling funny. Her mom told her she had a flu bug. Next, she had to go back to bed and stay home from school. Then, when Katie was at home, she had a bad dream, read a story with her mom, and sang a song with her dad. After that, she talked on the phone with 2 of her friends. So now, while we read the last chapter, we're going to think about how the end goes together with the beginning and the middle of the story. Let's take a look at chapter 3 of Katie Woo Has the Flu. And I want you to listen out to how we can make connections to the beginning and middle of the story that we've already read. So it says, chapter 3, Feeling Better. Katie took another little nap. When she woke up, she felt a lot better. Her mom brought her more soup and toast. Yay, soup, Katie said. Yay, toast. I'm starving. I'm noticing on these 2 pages that Katie took a nap and then her mom brought her toast and soup. I can make a connection to the earlier parts of the book because Katie took a nap in chapter 2 and her mom brought her toast and soup in chapter 2 as well. So this part is similar to chapter 2. And if you remember, when Katie Woo had soup and toast in chapter 2, she didn't want it. But now in chapter 3, she's so excited to eat some toast and soup. Let's see what else has happened. I'm feeling more like me, Katie said. It feels good to feel good. That night, Katie dreamed that her class sang a welcome back song to her. Miss Winkle played the tambourine and did a happy dance. A few days later, Katie went back to school. Her friends welcomed her with a song. Boo on the flu, they said. We missed you. I did too, sang Miss Winkle. Katie sang back, I feel like new, like a new Katie Woo. And it was true. And then her friends made her a welcome back sign. So I'm noticing that here, Katie is really excited to be back at school. Just like in chapter 2, she was thinking about how much she missed being at school with her friends. This ending matches with the middle. So you can see I can make a connection between the ending with Katie going back to school and with the middle when she was talking about how much she couldn't wait to go back to school. I'm also noticing that Katie gets better and doesn't have the flu anymore. This conclusion, or this ending to our story, helps make the whole story come together. Everything clicks. Because if you remember, friends, this book is called Katie Woo Has the Flu. It's all about her having the flu. And at the end of the story, we learn that she no longer has the flu. So the conclusion makes the story all click together because now she's better. So, when you guys go on to read on your own, I want you to be sure to use the reading tools that we've learned so far. I want you to stop, think, and retell. I want you to use stop and jots to remember your ideas. We want to notice, stop, and think, what is the author saying to make us have a big feeling? And of course, now we want to think about how did the author make the whole book click together? Now that you have this new reading tool, I want you to try on your own. Happy reading, friends!